Welcome to Kharchalogy. I'm Komal Bangar, and today we are going to continue with accounting equations. Please don't forget to watch the previous video so that you'll get a full clarity on this chapter. And don't forget to like and subscribe my page. Let's start with a quick revision of what is accounting equation. Accounting equation is nothing but assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. This equation, it depicts the fundamental relationship of the components of the balance sheet. We have seen what a balance sheet looks like. One side we write assets, and on the other side we write liabilities and the capital. We have also learned what is assets, liabilities and capital. In this equation, we have seen that whenever there is a transaction, it will be recorded in at least two places. That means that at least two accounts will be affected while recording a transaction. This is as simple as it gets. So let's continue with some practical problems. This will only help you in getting clarity and understanding this chapter. I hope you have downloaded the practice problems that I have given earlier. So if you have any queries, any difficulty in solving that, please do DM me, please do mail me about anything. I'm available to all your queries, all your difficulties. I hope I can make this chapter very easy for you, very understandable for you. So please don't hesitate. Okay, so in the previous chapter, we have dealt with 3 questions. Let's continue with more. So the first question. Use accounting equation to show the effect of the following transactions of MS Royal Traders. Started business with cash rupees 1,20,000, purchased goods for cash rupees 10,000, rent received for rupees 5,000, salary outstanding rupees 2,000, prepaid insurance rupees 1,000, received interest rupees 700, sold goods for cash costing rupees 5,000 for rupees 7,000, goods sold by fire rupees 500. Please pause this question so that you can write it down and solve it along with me. So first, let's focus on the format. I have already told you how the format should look like in the previous video. Let's discuss this again. Firstly, we will start with writing in the books of anyone whose books we are representing, in whose books we are going to write. We will firstly write in the middle of the page in the books of Messrs Royal Traders. And the format, you will have to draw this with a with a ruler and pencil. So please do this very neatly. We have to present this in a very proper manner and in a very neat manner. So on the first column, you'll write what the transaction we are representing. Then we'll have 3 columns for assets, liabilities and capital. In assets, we will have some sub columns to represent whatever asset that will come into this account while presenting the transaction. And similarly for liabilities, we will have sub columns to represent whatever liabilities that will incur in these transactions. And the last column will be capital. So let's start with the first statement. Messrs Royal Traders started with business with cash. Here he started his business with cash 1,20,000. So in the business 1,20,000 cash has come in, and the capital of 1,20,000 will be represented as the proprietor of Messrs Royal Trader has brought this cash. So in the business, the proprietor will be represented as capital, as he claims this money in the business and we owe him this money to the proprietor. So we will represent this as 1,20,000 in cash and 1,20,000 in capital. Second, he purchased goods for cash. Well, here clearly it is mentioned that the goods has been purchased for cash. So the equation will be very easy. We will deduct 10,000 as the cash is going out. So we will deduct 10,000 from the column of cash, and since we have purchased goods, that means that we have stock that is coming in the business. So we will add 10,000 in the column of stock. After every equation, we are going to check whether the accounting equation stands true. Here, asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. Always check whether this equation stands true after every transaction. Third, rent received. Here, rent is received, that means rent is an income. Any income or profit or gain, this will be added into capital. So, here the rent has been received for 5,000. So we will add 5,000 in cash and we will add this income in capital. Check the new equation. Fourth, salary outstanding. First, let's understand what do you mean by salary outstanding. Outstanding means that something that is pending. And salary, this is an expense. So it means that in this period, in this accounting period, we have an expense that is salary. However, this salary, this expense, this is pending to be paid. So that is why this is a liability. This is some amount that we owe to the employees. However, we have not paid it yet. So we will first deduct this expense from capital, rupees 2,000. And then since we owe this money, this becomes a liability. So we will make a column in under liabilities for salary outstanding, and we will add rupees 2,000 to this column. Then prepaid insurance. Let's understand what is prepaid insurance. Prepaid insurance is something that we have already paid. However, this expense is not a expense of this accounting period. Since this is not an expense for this accounting period, there will be no effect in the capital. All the profits, all the gains, all the income, all the expense that is of this accounting period, that shall be affected in the capital column. However, this expense is not of this accounting period. That means that we have paid it earlier. Since we have already paid this earlier, we will see an outflow of cash in the cash column for rupees 1,000. And this is something that we have already paid. This becomes an advance. This is a short-term advance because this is an expense of the next accounting period. So this is something that this is an asset for us because we have already paid this amount and this amount has not been expensed yet. That is why we will add this into the asset column for rupees 1,000. Then interest received. Interest received is as simple as it gets. This is an income. We have received it. So firstly, we'll add this into the capital column as this is an income of this accounting period. So we will add rupees 7,000 in capital and we have received this in cash. So we will add this into the cash column. Then sold goods for cash. We have sold goods for cash and the cost of this good that we have sold is for rupees 5,000. So we will deduct rupees 5,000 from stock as this was the cost of the stock. That is why we will deduct rupees 5,000 from the stock column. We have sold this goods for cash. We have sold this good for cash. That means we will see an inflow of cash of rupees 7,000. Therefore, we will increase. Therefore, we will add this 7,000 into the cash column. And since we can see that there is a profit of 2,000, we have sold goods of 7,000, that costed for rupees 5,000. Therefore, there is a profit of 2,000. Any profit, any gain of this accounting period will be affected into the capital column. So we will add this 2,000 profit to the capital column. Goods destroyed by fire. Goods destroyed by fire. This is very literal. This is an expense. This is a loss that we have seen in the business. So since we have lost goods that costed for rupees 500, we will have to deduct this from the cost, and this is a loss for us. We will deduct this loss from the capital column. So we can deduct this from the capital column. Now check whether the final equation after effecting all the transactions, whether this accounting equation stands true or not. Add all the assets, and this amount should be equal to the liabilities plus capital. I hope आपको ये क्वेश्चन समझ में आया होगा. In this, we have seen 3 new things that we can affect this into the accounting equation. First was an expense that was outstanding. That means that this expense is not being paid yet. That means that it is yet to be paid, that is pending to be paid. So here we can see 2 effects, that there was an expense in this accounting period. Whatever expense that is of this accounting period, whether we have paid or not paid, this will be recorded in our books. Why? We have learned this in the matching concept. And if we have not paid, this becomes a liability because we owe this money. Therefore, in the accounting equation, we have seen the effect, where does an expense go and where do we represent a liability. Second, we have seen that we have prepaid an expense. That means that there is an expense that we have already paid. However, this expense is not of this accounting period. If this expense is not of this accounting period, we will not show it as an expense. So we will not show any effect in the capital column. Since the expense has already been paid, we will see an effect in the cash. But since this is something that already has been paid, but this is not an expense of this accounting period, this becomes an asset. Why this becomes an asset? Because this is something that will be represented in the next accounting period. This is something that we will benefit from because we have already paid this, and we will see a benefit in the next accounting period. So this becomes an asset. And third, we have seen that goods has been destroyed in fire. This means that the goods has been destroyed. We will not see any gain by selling them. The stock has diminished. So therefore we will deduct stock, and since it was destroyed in fire, we cannot benefit from them. There is a loss that we have incurred. That is why we will affect this in the capital column. Let's continue with the next question. I hope that you are doing these questions along with me. You have sat with a notebook, pen, pencil, ruler, etc., whatever you need to represent the format very neatly. Start by doing this neatly from the very beginning so that this becomes a habit. Accounting is all about representation, and we have to focus on this. Question 5. Let's start with reading this, and please pause this question so that you can note down and solve it with me. Show the accounting equation on the basis of the following transaction. Udit started business with cash rupees 5 lakh and goods rupees 1 lakh. Purchased building for for cash for rupees 2 lakh. Purchased goods for Himani rupees 50,000. Sold goods to Ashu costing rupees 25,000 for rupees 36,000. Paid insurance premium rupees 3,000. Rent outstanding rupees 5,000. Depreciation on building rupees 8,000. Cash withdrawn for personal use rupees 20,000. Rent received in advance rupees 5,000. Cash paid to Himani on account rupees 20,000. Cash received from Ashu rupees 30,000. Let's start this. Make the format. Start by writing in the books of Udit. First transaction. Started business with cash and goods. So Udit, he started his business by bringing in cash and by bringing in stock. So we will record this in the asset in the column of cash and stock, and we will add this to the capital. Cash rupees 5 lakh, stock rupees 1 lakh, capital 6 lakh. He purchased building for cash. Building is a asset, so we will record this in the asset column. Building rupees 2 lakh. He purchased this for cash, so there was an outflow of cash, so we will deduct rupees 2 lakh from the cash column. After every transaction, we will write the equation and we will check whether the accounting equation stands true or not. He then purchased goods from Himani. Since it is not specified that he purchased this goods for cash, and the name of the party has been given, so we will assume that he has purchased this goods on credit. So we will see an inflow of stock for rupees 50,000. Since we have not paid to Himani for the goods, this become a liability because we owe this money. So Himani is a creditor. We will add rupees 50,000 in the column of creditor under liabilities. Udit sold goods to Ashu. He sold this goods and he sold this to Ashu where it is not specified that this has been sold for cash. Therefore, Ashu will be assumed to be a debtor as he owes money to us. We have sold this goods on credit. He sold goods that costed rupees 25,000. So we will deduct rupees 25,000 from the stock column. And Ashu owes us money for rupees 36,000. That is why we will add rupees 36,000 in the debtors column under the assets. Udit sold goods to Ashu for a profit. There is a profit of rupees 11,000 as 25,000 stock has been sold for 36,000. So we will add this profit to the capital column. He paid insurance premium. Since this is a expense that belongs to this accounting period, so we will deduct this expense from the capital column, and he has paid this, so we will deduct rupees 3,000 from the cash column. Rent outstanding. We have discussed this, that what does an expense that is outstanding mean. Rent is of this accounting period, so therefore we will deduct this expense from the capital column. So rent is outstanding, that means that we have not paid this rent yet. It is something that is pending. We owe this money, that becomes a liability. So we will add rupees 5,000 under rent outstanding column under liabilities. Whenever you cannot continue an accounting equation problem into one page, you will always make a new accounting equation row and write carry forward so that you can bring this to the next page, and you should write this on the first row so that you can add your accounting equation properly and you would have no mistakes later on. Then depreciation on building. Firstly, let's understand what is depreciation. We have not discussed this yet in any of the videos. Depreciation represents a wearing off an asset. What does this mean? You purchase any asset, you will use this for years to come. That means if you're using an asset, there will be some wear and tear. There will be even if you're not using it, that has become old. Since you're using this, you have to write this off. You have to expense this against the revenue. For example, we have purchased a computer for rupees 50,000 and we intend to use this for 5 years. The life of the computer is of 5 years. We will earn a revenue against the usage of this computer for 5 years. We have to expense the cost of the computer against the revenue that we will earn. Therefore, we will divide 50,000 by 5 years and we will expense out 10,000 each year. Under matching concept, we have learned that revenue will be always matched with the expense that has been incurred in that year for the revenue that has been earned in that year. Therefore, we will divide the cost of the asset that we will use for 5 years, for which we have earned the revenue for 5 years. Therefore, we will expense out 10,000 every year. In this question, we have seen that Udit has purchased a building for rupees 2 lakh. This building is benefiting us in earning income and earning a revenue. Therefore, he will expense out this income. He will expense out the cost of the asset for the years to come, for which the building will be used and it will benefit us from earning a revenue. In this question, we have got the amount 8,000 for depreciation. So therefore, we will deduct this depreciation from building. This depreciation, we have discussed this right now, that it is an expense. So we will deduct this from capital. Cash withdrawn for personal usage. Udit withdraw cash. This becomes a drawing. A drawing is something that deducts your claim from the business. There will be a deduction under the capital column for all the drawings. So we will deduct rupees 20,000 under the capital column, and since the cash has been withdrawn, we will deduct rupees 20,000. Rent received in advance. Rent received in advance, that means this is a income. Since it has been received in advance, that means that this is not an income of this accounting period. So that means that this is a liability, because we are yet to benefit from this. We still owe this money if we do not earn this income in the next accounting period. Therefore, we will add rupees 5,000 in advance rent. Since this is not earned in this accounting period, we will not show any effect under capital column. However, we have received cash for this, so we will show this under cash. We will add this in the cash column. Cash paid to Himani on account. On account, let's discuss what does this mean. On account means whatever money that we owe to Himani, we are paying a part of this from the account that we have made for Himani. In Himani's account, in Himani's column, we are showing that we owe rupees 50,000 to Himani. However, we have paid only rupees 20,000. Therefore, we will deduct rupees 20,000 in cash. And since we have paid 20,000 to Himani, this will deduct our liability, this will decrease our liability. So we will deduct rupees 20,000 from creditors. Cash received from Ashu. Ashu owed us money for rupees 36,000. However, he has only paid us rupees 30,000. So we will add cash for rupees 30,000, and since he owes us 36,000, however he has paid only 30,000, so he still owes us money, so we will deduct rupees 30,000 against to whatever he has paid. This solves our question. Now let's see whether the final equation matches to the accounting equation or not. Check whether the total sum of assets matches with the total sum of liabilities and capital. Okay guys, that's it for today. Today we are going to solve only 2 questions so that you do not feel overburdened with the new transactions, with the new stuff that we have been learning on how to represent them, how to show them in an accounting equation question. Let's summarize that what we have learned in these 2 questions. We have seen what is a prepaid expense, what is an expense that is outstanding, what is a income that we have received in advance. A expense that is outstanding, it means that the expense is of this accounting period, and due to matching concept we will present them in this accounting period as an expense. However, we have not paid this expense. This expense is still pending, so this becomes a liability. We owe this money, so this will be added in the liabilities. Then prepaid expense. Prepaid expense is an expense that will incur in the next accounting period. However, we have paid this earlier, so there is a outflow of cash, and this is an expense that is not of this accounting period. Therefore, this will not be shown in this accounting period as an expense. We will not affect this in the capital column. So therefore, we will show this as a asset, since this is something that we will benefit from in the next accounting period. That is why this becomes a asset. And then income that we have received in advance. So income that we have received in advance, that means that we are yet to earn this revenue. This is not a revenue that belongs to this accounting period. Therefore, we will not affect this in the capital column. This is not an income of this year. Since we have already received cash for this income, there will be an inflow of cash, there will be an addition in the cash column. However, this is not an income of this accounting period. This is something that that doesn't belong to us. So this becomes a liability. This is something that we owe a service, or we owe some goods against this money. So this becomes a liability. And then we learned that we lost goods in fire. The goods were destroyed in some manner in fire in a question. So since we have not earned any income against the sale of this goods, we have not earned anything. This is a loss that we have seen. This is something that has diminished from our business. So this becomes a loss. there will be a deduction in the amount of stock because we have lost this goods, and this is a loss that we will show in the capital column because we have purchased goods, however we were not able to sell it. This becomes a loss, so we will deduct this from the capital column. And then lastly, we learned what is depreciation. Depreciation is writing off the amount of asset for years of usage. That is, that we expense out some amount from the cost of the asset over the years to come. So we have seen that in an depreciation of any asset, we will deduct this amount from the asset column and also from the capital column. Okay guys, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this easy. I hope you're starting to understand what is accounting equation, how do we represent them. So please, if you have any queries, please send me a mail, please DM me, or else we can schedule a video call on this. So don't hesitate. Please contact me on the manner that I have put this in the description box. Okay, till then, bye. See you. We have two more questions that we will discuss. So there is a video that will be done in a day or two. I will put this. Till then, bye. Have a good day. See you.